Okay, so I don't want to keep typing. I just dropped off Eva. I know I look like shit. I was running so late this morning because I haven't been sleeping again. But, so, okay, so 2 nights ago, I got on like, oh my God, I got on YouTube, and I started looking up like, people's experiences with spirited dolls and stuff, and I found this chick I really like. Her name's Loie Lane. She's just a really cool vlogger, but anyway, so I was like watching these videos. Me and Eva were laying in bed, and then I started like, I keep going back and looking at the pictures of this Porzia, and I'd already committed to buying her, to adopting her and everything, and I've been like super excited to get her, and even Steven's like excited, Coda's excited, like either it's going to be nothing or it's going to be really good, I feel, and they kind of feel the same way, so it's been interesting. But anyway, so lost my train of thought. So yeah, okay, so I get on Etsy and I like look up her picture again, and I'm like, you know, laying in bed, and Eva's in the bed with me, and I'm trying to get her to go to sleep, and she's not wanting to go to sleep, and I start just like I just kept looking through the dolls just because it's interesting. It's really interesting. And of course, you know, I'm reading reviews on the sellers and stuff like that too, to make sure people aren't just trying to make a buck, but you never know. But it's still interesting. So I'm looking up this stuff and looking up at these dolls, and Eva's like looking at the dolls randomly. She's going back from her tablet and then looking over at the dolls. I'm like, Eva, you know, get one more bedtime story on your tablet, because I'd already read her one, and then it's bedtime. And so she like lost interest in her tablet and just kept looking at the dolls I was looking at. And she'd look at them, she'd be like, oh mama, that doll's so sad. And I'd be like, oh, it's not sad, it just has like a sad face, doesn't mean it's a sad dolly. And oh mama, I don't like that doll looks sad, that doll looks mad, that doll doesn't look happy. Or oh, look at that doll's cute, that doll's pretty. Well, then she finds this one and she like pushes the phone real quick and then scrolls back and she goes, oh mama, look. And she points at this one, she goes, oh, mama, that doll is so happy. And the doll did have this really welcoming face, and like, but it's not just the face, it's like you get a feeling. So and you either do or you don't, and I did, and I'm like, good energy, you know. So I read it, because some, you know, sometimes they're not good, but I felt it. So I'm reading it and I'm like, whoa. So I was like, what, Eva, you like this dolly? And she's like, yeah, it's really pretty. And I'm like, oh yeah, it is a pretty dolly, but we don't need to pick a dolly just because it's pretty. Because I'm like, I'm not going to get a creepy porcelain doll just because she thinks it's pretty. I was like, if she had a connection, then maybe I'd look into it. So I just kind of dismissed it and kept going. And I was just going to stick with the doll that I was originally going to get her from, like remember her Bendy and Cindy dolls? Well, the Bendy doll that's from Australia, I was just going to get her another one. So, anyway, so then she kept wanting to go back to this picture, and the doll's name is Janine. So, okay, so I keep going back to the picture, and, she's just really drawn to it. So she goes to sleep, and I decide to message the seller, and I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what's been going on around the house. This is what I'm doing with, I'm expecting my first, spirited doll, and this is a situation with my daughter, and this is what happened, and what are your thoughts? And so she sends me messages back, like, this is the next morning, first thing, and she's like, well, usually I don't recommend buying or adopting, or I don't recommend actively haunted dolls for children, because you just never know. And she said, but I've had Janine in my home for 7 years, and given her age and just her her spirit and her energy, that she would be great. And then she gave me like this backstory with another doll she had and her daughter, and how this doll like went to different family members and how much this doll helped everybody, and blah, 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 and how the daughter is grown with her own kids, but she actually took the doll back because she felt like she needed the protection. And I guess Janine, this other doll, is a protective spirit. So she was like, I feel like it looks like your daughter might have connected with her. So I'm like, yeah. I said, but what if she didn't? What if it's just a little girl liking another doll? And I'm like I'm projecting, I'm reading too much into it. I was like, well, here's my thought. What if I adopt Janine and I kind of hang around her, and then Christmas comes and Janine appears under the tree, Christmas Day, like Santa, no name on her, just totally unsaid. And there she is. So she's kind of like the family doll. And if Eva gets attached to her, then she gets attached to her. If not, then I have two spirited dolls, or not, whatever. And, we'll just see. And she's like, I think that's a fantastic idea. And what a great surprise. And she's like, actually, like, this sounds silly, but I bet Janine will love that. I'm like, oh, okay, well, we'll see. So I went ahead and adopted this Janine, which she hasn't been sent off yet. But Portia should be here, like, she's supposed to be here last night, but she should be here tonight, and it's going to be interesting. But yeah, so I'm on this like new journey into spirited dolls. So I'm going to like tape my unboxing. I'm actually going to start a YouTube channel, and I'm starting an Etsy store soon. Like, I'm getting it started at home before I like start posting things, because I'm starting to get into making jewelry and stuff, and I'm really crappy at it, but practice. So I figure, if this stuff doesn't work out, then I'll try to rehome the dolls, which Portia, if it doesn't work out, the seller wants her back because she's like a family member to them. So, whatever. But yeah, so I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to do an unboxing, and I'm going to like record my, time with getting to know these dolls and seeing if anything happens or what happens, and start documenting the stuff around the house. So it's going to be really interesting. So you're like the first person besides Steven and Shauna to know about this journey that I'm starting. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to be interesting. But the weird thing is like, I feel really good about Portia and Janine coming. It's weird. It's like I told Steven, I said, this might be totally psychosomatic. I am like completely aware that it might be psychosomatic. That we're just like projecting our hopes that, or our need to have something positive in our lives right now, or whatever, something different with everything going on. So it could just be that, like, I have a pretty balanced brain when it comes to fact over feelings, and when chemicals are involved, when I'm not, you pour alcohol on it, it's a difference. So I don't drink anymore. But I like to look at things scientifically too, and from different perspectives. So I'm very aware that this could all be for naught and silly, but whatever, it's an adventure. And then I'll be like, remember that time I was dumb? And Steve be like, yeah, and so was I. And yeah, and I shared it with the world, it's so what, who fucking cares? Like, I'm done. Like I said, I'm out of my shell, and I'm done like worrying about other people. And I'm not in like a crappy way, but like, just, you've known, part of my past, but you don't know it all. And with my childhood and stuff. So it's like, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this kind of stuff, but I don't care. This is like, it's like with my mom burning my tarot cards back in the day and like stifling everything. And I just went along with it. And, I'm finding a lot about myself, and like, even like down to, it looks like, I guess I'm slightly on the spectrum, and, it's putting a lot of things in perspective, and piecing things together about myself that I've always I've never understood, and nobody else has understood. And it's like, yeah, it's okay. We don't have to understand each other all the way. We can all be different. But anyway, it's been a journey, and I'm glad that I'm over being so like hurt and everything with you, because I really miss having you in my life, and I really want you to like come along with me through this journey, even though you might be one of the ones that think I'm stupid and crazy, and I don't care if you about that. If you do, you can like tease me about it, that's fine, but just know that this it's just like somebody's religion. You don't shit on it. You might not agree with it, but you don't shit on it. You can just like, I guess, judge me on your own time, but we'll see. So welcome to my new journey, and I love you and I miss you, and this is why I made the video, because this is like a lot to say. Okay, peace. I'm gonna go home now. Bye.